kumagan kekaktiok tatamskat na miete ne pemikchet egi situs kabegom kawi paskunat omskochiwa shayga ne wa kumakana magae egananto betem na muinga bachitano kagisman. I want to welcome all of you, and I'm grateful to see so many of you here to honor and commemorate with us Treaty 6 territory, and welcome to Treaty 6 territory, by the way. And I want to thank the Mayor Don and his council and the chiefs who are represented here from the Treaty 6 territory for being here. As is customary in the Cree culture of the territory, and the Lakota do the same too, we offer prayers to the Creator to begin any activity, like we held a pipe ceremony a little bit earlier this morning. On that note, I would like to offer an opening prayer for this part of today's activities with traditional prayer. You can all remain seated.
Thank you, Mr. Wood, for your prayer. I really appreciate that. And now we're really honored to have the Treaty 6 singers from Alexis First Nation to do an honor song for us. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, Alexis Singers, for that honor song. And welcome again. I'm very pleased. My name is Mike Chow with the City of Edmonton. I'm very humbled to be extending a really warm greeting to City Hall here in the center of downtown, part of traditional Treaty 6 territory. It's my pleasure to take you through the program today and speak to you about this wonderful day, our Treaty 6 Recognition Day. And albeit it is one day of the year that we get to formally gather and recognize this, what's really important is the other 364 days a year as we build our relationship with the community and our neighbors within Treaty 6 territory of the First Nations and the community members that choose to call Edmonton their home as well. This is the second annual Treaty 6 Recognition Day. Last year was our first, and this is the first for our new mayor, His Worship Don Iveson. I'm going to introduce some of the dignitaries today, and I'd ask that they stand when they hear their names. So, of course, His Worship Mayor Don Iveson. We're honored to have beside him Chief Tony Alexis of the Alexis Sioux Nation. Chief Alexis is acting as the proxy for Grand Chief Craig Mackinac of Ermineskin First Nation, who could not be here, but he was able to send Councillor Dennis Whitebear, so thank you, Councillor Whitebear, for coming. Chief Ken Burnstick of Alexander First Nation could not be here, but he was able to send proxy Mr. Edwin Paul. Thank you for being here. Chief Bernice Martel from Cold Lake First Nation, thank you for joining us today. Chief James Jackson from Goodfish Whitefish Lake First Nation. Chief Brad Rabbit from Montana First Nation. Chief Wallace Fox from Onion Lake First Nation. Well, mention some names that could make it. Chief Henry Gladue from Beaver Lake Cree First Nation. Chief Ron Moran from Enoch Cree Nation. Chief Clifford Stanley from Frog Lake First Nation. Chief Morris Monas from Heart Lake First Nation. Chief Eric Godwell from Kihiwan First Nation. Chief Rusty Three Fingers from the Louisville Tribe. Chief Darren Whitford from Ochese First Nation. Chief Casey Bird from Paul First Nation. Chief Leonard Jackson from Saddle Lake Cree Nation, and Chief Jonathan Frencheater from Sunchild First Nations. Jonathan's here. Thank you. Some other acknowledgements. We're happy to acknowledge some other First Nation representatives in the territory. Chief Calvin Bruno from the Papas Chase First Nation. I'm not sure if Chief Gil Goitz from the Michelle First Nation was able to make it, but I know that we did extend the invitation. Wanted to acknowledge the Michelle First Nation. Of course, other dignitaries that we have in place are councillors that are able to join us. I see Councillor Scott McKean from Ward 6 for joining us. Councillor Andrew Knack from Ward 1. And Councillor Ben Henderson from Ward 8. Sure, I get that number. And of course, for all of the staff and other guests that have attended, thank you for coming. At this time, I'd like to invite the Grand Chief, representing the Grand Chief for Confederacy of Treaty 6 First Nations, Chief Tony Alexis of the Alexis Dakota Sioux Nation. Bring some greetings.
I'd just like to wish you greetings to all and welcome to Treaty 6 Recognition Day and the territory. I want to thank our elders who led us today with a sacred ceremony, and to our drummers for their songs and their support. The song that they just finished singing was a song that my people sang as they were approaching the gathering of the treaty here just south from here. And that's the song that they brought here today. and I want to thank them for that. Also, a special thank you for Mayor Don Iveson and staff for your generous hospitality. You've done well supporting our Aboriginal people and many others who make their home here in Edmonton. And we are grateful for your support in dedicating this year of reconciliation. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to join me in a brief moment of silence to honor and recognize our missing and murdered women, and also our relatives that have gone home to the spirit world since time immemorial. And we just ask for a moment of silence and to give thanks that for their contribution and work that they've done, we stand here today. Thank you. I also like to give thanks for people like Tony Latender and others who dedicate their time to bring awareness of this subject to people across the nations, and there are many who are doing that across the nation. I want to thank them for that. It is with honor and humility that I have been asked to speak before you today at this very important celebration. To begin with some history, Treaty 6 was signed on August 23, 2014 at Fort Carleton, with subsequent adhesions signed at Fort Pitt, Blackfoot Crossing, and Fort Edmonton. In fact, my nation, the Alexis Nakota Sioux Nation, adhered to the treaty on August 21, 1877, just south from here, near the old Fort Edmonton. First Nations have always thrived in this area, long before establishment of fort and current municipality, utilizing waterways as a major avenue for trade and commerce. I feel it is always important to recognize the rich history that this area holds. And it is equally important to appreciate the effort of those parties who seek to emphasize this history. I commend Mayor Don Iveson and his council for their commitment to this event, Grand Chief Craig Mackinac for his dedication over the last 2 years to the Confederacy. Chiefs in attendance today, Regional Chief Cameron Alexis, whose initial discussions as Grand Chief led to the signing of the Memorandum of Collaboration and Dialogue with former Mayor Stephen Mandel, who graciously hosted the Chiefs last year. The memorandum, created in 2012 with the Confederacy, has provided opportunities for the leadership to sit together and to discuss key priority areas designed to benefit membership, visiting, transitioning, and passing through the city of Edmonton. It is without a doubt that the recognition of Treaty Number 6 will only grow in the following years. And the work being completed today will lay the foundation for a dynamic city rich with First Nations history and involvement as we become the largest Aboriginal populated city in Canada. It is difficult to read the news headlines today without seeing a negative portrayal of First Nations. However, events such as this are striving to educate both treaty parties on the meaning of relationship and how best to implement the terms of the sacred arrangements. This process begins with recognition of where we came from and how we came to be here today on this momentous occasion, and a pledge to learn from our mistakes and strive to be better than we have been in the past. We owe it to the next generation to create a better environment for understanding and coexistence, and this debt is shared among all citizens visiting, residing, traveling through the city of Edmonton. Again, I thank you for your time today, and may you enjoy the rest of your festivities.
Thank you, Chief Alexis, for your words. I do apologize. There were a couple of acknowledgements that I failed to make. It's a long list, and so I wanted to also thank the chair of the Fort Edmonton Management Company, Doug Goss, for his attendance and participation today. Thank you, Doug. And I'd like to also thank Elder Cecil Cryer today for doing the pipe ceremony. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Cryer. That was an honor this morning. At this time, I'd like to invite His Worship Mayor Don Iveson forward to make a special proclamation.
Thanks, Mike.
Just before I do that, a couple of things. Thank you, Chief Alexis, for your words. Thank you, Chiefs and Elders, for being here. Thank you, Elder Wood, for the blessing and for the pipe ceremony earlier. And please bear our greetings back to the Grand Chief and the Regional Chief as well, Chief Alexis. Edmonton is blessed to lie in the heart of Treaty 6 territory. And so on behalf of the citizens of Edmonton and all of my City Council colleagues, we feel very honored to host the Treaty 6 First Nations leaders here, and all of you here as well, including, and I feel I should acknowledge, the students from Iveson School who are here as part of City Hall School who have a chance to take this in. And I wanted to note that because Elder Erminskin remarked in the pipe ceremony earlier the importance of bringing all young people together to learn about each other's cultures, to build tolerance, to defeat stigma, and to strengthen our community. And so I'm glad that our young people are able to be here. You're representing tens of thousands, you don't realize it, but we're glad that you're here. We've had proud connections, as Chief Alexis spoke, before colonizers arrived, before the fur trade flourished here. There's thousands and thousands of years of rich intercultural Indigenous history that passes up and down this river and across the trails that join up here at this very special place called the Misquechiwaskahigan on Turtle Island, which we now call Edmonton and are pleased to share together many cultures coming together. Having the second largest, and we think shortly the largest urban Aboriginal population, has sometimes been spoken of with fear. And that tells you how much work we still have to do to defeat stigma and to strengthen relationships. But I see it as nothing short of spectacular opportunity. Because First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people are drawn to Edmonton for the same reasons that non-Indigenous people continue to be drawn to Edmonton in huge numbers. And it's a great sense of opportunity, not only economic, but also social, to be included in something very special, a city that we're building together. And I want to talk about the values that I think bind us together in that. But I think everybody is working together to build a more vibrant, more prosperous, and more progressive city every day. Treaty 6 Recognition Day allows us to celebrate the historic memorandum of cooperation and dialogue signed in 2012 between the city and the Treaty 6 First Nations, the first of its kind in Alberta. We're leaders together in that. The significance, though, is that this agreement renewed an important relationship, one that's founded on honor, on respect, and shared history. And as we reflect in this, the year of reconciliation, I believe that Edmonton values are treaty values. All people are welcome here. All people shall be respected here. All people are strengthened by sharing together, by learning together, and by working together. I think that's what the treaties, and specifically Treaty 6, oblige us to do. And I think those are the values that bind Edmontonians together. And so I think we have great opportunity to continue to build a great and inclusive city for all people in the spirit of Treaty 6 and in the spirit that I think lies in the heart of every Edmontonian. This annual event is very important because it strengthens our commitment to each other and to those values and extends a welcome every year to all Aboriginal people in Edmonton to work together to create that common future of success, inclusion, and understanding. And so I'd like to invite Grand Chief Proxy Tony Alexis to come back up while I offer this proclamation through him. Whereas on August 23rd, 1876, Treaty Number 6 was first signed at Fort Carlton between the Plains and Wood Cree Indians, establishing First Nations territory and authority. And whereas Edmonton, a major urban center in the heart of traditional Treaty 6 territory, acts as a gathering place for First Nations people. And whereas the City of Edmonton is committed to strengthening its partnership with Treaty 6 nations by helping bridge new relationships. And whereas learning about the past, being thoughtful in our present, and looking positively towards our collective future honors the process of creating lasting friendships. Therefore, I, Mayor Don Iveson, on behalf of the people of Edmonton, do hereby proclaim September 25th, 2014, Treaty Number 6 Recognition Day in Edmonton, Alberta's capital city.
Thank you, Mayor Iveson. We will now have the Alexis Singers do a song of celebration for us for the proclamation. Or wait, oh, sorry, I'm way ahead of myself, sorry. At this time, Mayor Iveson and Chief Alexis, I'm going to invite them back up. They have a gift exchange between our two organizations they want to do. Thanks to Alexis Singers. This is great. Our event keeps growing. A couple more acknowledgements. We're really honored to have our closest neighbor from the Enoch First Nation, Chief Ron Morin, gather with us. Thank you for coming, Chief Morin. And another wonderful surprise, we're honored to have the Associate Minister of Aboriginal Relations, the Honourable David Dorwood, MLA of Gold Bar, join us as well. Thank you, Mr. Dorwood. At this time, I've been told that we're going to add some things to our wonderful program. I'd like to invite Chief Wallace Fox from Onion Lake First Nation to come forward. Say a few words.
Askumani stetepi vitsia kotawe no ibun yopsikite kakke biskuita mulsi bikskol patita egoma skon kawi miegota kanigani stomoteno kite egote askaigansi igagis motatage igesagawanta gikayas tawa partihit kotak pito sai sino mutasip te pamantun o magskol igi soe tsigrati igi gutte ni swaski asin stoe gutte na agoteo eksuti mini pitigo yan kapitan o gaspatam sko o maka naskotake aski o mutte na o takasti pamantun gutasip itakiti kakwen stopta pito sai sino gawabskoit minugakyo sino Nstuhta maun tigaya, toma pahto me gotig, igitigo yan, igutsuma, upita ani stuta, o magskuo. Kiteana no giano ganto isiniwi, wapahani sigati, maga moy utigutuit, takot maga. Tipianis tigo mo tipivitaman. Good morning. I thank the elders for their pipe this morning, and their prayers. Say good morning in the name of Creator to all people. I was told by our people a long time ago, we always use the language acknowledging the Creator first and foremost before you say anything, and then the language. I was also directed to come here to be a part of this. What I'm about to present through worship as a leader, as he says, the Chief of Edmonton. Some people call him that. Somebody else on the street called him that. Oh, you're the Chief of Edmonton. Anyways, for many years in the Treaty 6 territory, elders have learned and worked with them, as many of these colleagues that are here. I say good morning to the chiefs and elders and everyone present. This was prayed upon by many pipes. Again, was asked by the Treaty 6 people that were present at the time in Fort Pitt, where one of the areas was mentioned earlier. Our reserve is about 5 miles from Fort Pitt, and it straddles Saskatchewan and Alberta border. We were here first before the province, so they made a line across one of the reserves. Anyways, why this was created was to create an understanding and awareness. This, what I'm about to present, is flown in the city of Lloydminster, hangs City Hall in Saskatoon and in Prince Albert, and eventually all over the municipal districts of Treaty 6. We don't recognize the boundary where Onion Lake sits, Alberta and Saskatchewan. My office is on the Alberta side, I live on the Saskatchewan side, but still Onion Lake, Treaty 6 territory. It stems from the interior of Manitoba all the way into the mountains in BC. One of the biggest treaty territories that we belong to. So I want to present this flag that was designed and created. Some of us at home, our people, and then we presented it to a Treaty 6 elders meeting, and they said, bring it forward. because time has come now to create that awareness and that understanding amongst all peoples of the sacred treaty that was entered into by two sovereigns in 1876. Sovereigns, it takes sovereigns only to enter into a treaty. Our people maintain that sovereignty today. However, things that have happened and transgressed over the time have caused an erosion of that understanding even amongst our own people. And in Saskatchewan, they've done the curriculum now that recognizes treaties as part of the curriculum. And hopefully on this side, they will also create that awareness through the young children of that understanding of treaty and amongst all people. And I'm very honored to be a part of this day today. And with this Treaty 6 flag, this already is flown at the City Hall in Saskatoon, in PA, like I said, and North Battleford is planning on that also, and in Lloydminster. And hopefully people, I've heard those people in those cities, they walk by City Hall, oh, what's that flag? Treaty 6. And they walk into City Hall, what is that flag? And there's that understanding, that awareness that begins from the general public. And this is one of the educational reasons why this flag flies up on the Treaty 6 on the west side, not in Saskatchewan, on the west side, on the east side of Treaty 6. And our hope is that it'll continue on the west side of Treaty 6. So, on behalf of the people, the elders that bless this flag, your worship, I'd like to present this Treaty 6 flag to you. And thank you for recognizing the city of Edmonton and the people here recognizing that we are in Treaty 6 territory. Center of that emblem, that's the treaty medallion that many of our chiefs were given at the time of treaty to shake hands. And there's a hatchet in the middle there that's bearing the hatchet that we must live in peace and cohabit and coexist in this land, this great land we call Turtle Island. The symbol represents the red man and the white man shaking hands in harmony. That's what that medallion represents. And I say again, thank you for having us here today.
Thank you, Chief Fox. At this time, I'm also going to call up Chief Tony Alexis as well for a quick presentation.
For the mayor, from Treaty 6, we have a gift for him as well from the Confederacy of Treaty 6. We have an eagle feather that's being presented to him to remind him of this day and the dialogue that we had here today, and to be a witness of what we have seen here. So with that, I present this eagle feather to you. It's been prayed and blessed.
Moving right along, at this time, I'm going to invite Mayor Iveson up. He has a special announcement.
Well, more than one now. I'm deeply grateful to Elder Fox for the presentation of the blessed flag. Thank you very much. Or Chief Fox and Chief Alexis for. I'm deeply moved by this. Actually, thank you. And welcome, Chief Morin. It's good to see you here as well as our immediate neighbor. But it's good for us all to be here together. Some of the chiefs were joshing me a little bit on the way in that the traffic was really bad and there was a lot of construction. And then Chief Alexis was telling me that the song that our singers were singing for us was the song for the Chiefs. And I asked him if it's for strength for the Chiefs. And if I'm the chief of Edmonton, then I need all the strength I can get through the construction. But the thing we all have in common is we all want Ottawa to give us more money to fix our roads, right? So I spoke of that rich tradition of Edmonton as a gathering place and the contributions of our resilient Aboriginal people who, in spite of generations of attempts by our national government to strip Indigenous people of their language and their culture and their traditional practices, that in spite of that spiritual, sexual, physical abuse, Indigenous people are here to stay. They are resilient. They are resilient. They are our neighbors. They are our friends. And so in the spirit of all of that, the city has not just figured this out. We were the first Canadian municipality to have an Aboriginal declaration in 2005. In 2007, Edmonton introduced the Edmonton Urban Aboriginal Accord. And in 2012, we signed the Memorandum of Cooperation and Dialogue that helped make today and last year possible. And we've made considerable progress over that time, and we should all be proud of that. But there's still a lot more work to do. Progress continues on projects like consultation and engagement around Walterdale Bridge and West Rossdale, on the work of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which I remain involved with as an honorary witness. We'll be going to an event later this year and continuing to connect Edmonton to that national dialogue. The creation of a smudge room in CN Tower, which is where our Community Services Department is located. We smudged my office, actually, with Elder Gilman Cardinal a little while ago and cleared everything out. It was good. We have an Aboriginal Edmonton guide and directory, and now I'm going to have to find a flagpole. And just yesterday, as some of you may have heard, and I'm thrilled by this, the city's naming committee announced our new downtown park will be named after Alex Decotu, Canada's first Aboriginal police officer, an Olympic marathon runner, and World War I hero. Another exciting project, the Confederacy and a Fort Edmonton Management Company, represented here by Mr. Goss, have been discussing how the Aboriginal story is being told, particularly as it relates to Treaty Number 6. Through these discussions, an opportunity was presented to explore further ways to support Treaty 6 First Nations in sharing their story. And today I am proud to announce that the City of Edmonton will provide $20,000 to support the Confederacy and the Fort Edmonton Management Company to locate the site near Fort Carleton where local First Nations signed onto Treaty Number 6. In addition to helping identify the site, this project will help improve understanding between the Confederacy and Fort Edmonton Management Company, and it is my hope that this newfound reconciliation will enhance Aboriginal programming at Fort Edmonton Park and the programs and services that the City of Edmonton offers consistent with this year of reconciliation. And So I'd now like to invite my friend Doug Goss, Chairman of the Fort Edmonton Management Company, to say a few words about this project. Please welcome Doug.
Thank you, Chief Iveson. First of all, I wanted to say a special thank you to Grand Chief Tony Alexis and all the chiefs of the First Nations and their guests, and of course Elder Charles for the fine prayer, but most importantly for the incredible pipe ceremony which we were invited to attend this morning. It was very special in so many ways for me. I'm very proud to represent Fort Edmonton Park and be part of this day, a day that reminds us to acknowledge and honor, as the Mayor said, our ties with our Aboriginal community, which are so rich. Now, Fort Edmonton has long been a source of pride for Edmontonians, honoring history, and we try to do it with integrity and historical accuracy. You know, and we have a rich history, and it's composed of many diverse narratives, diverse cultures, and of course, those events which have shaped this region. And while parts of the story of our Indigenous peoples have been told at Fort Edmonton Park, it has not been given the kind of in-depth attention it so richly deserves, and it's for this reason the immediate priority for Fort Edmonton is the development of its Indigenous peoples experience, which will allow the story of our Indigenous peoples to be told in the way it should. In that regard, we're very pleased and excited for the opportunity to work closely with the Confederacy of Treaty 6 First Nations to expand the Aboriginal narrative at Fort Edmonton Park. This relationship is such an important step towards the park mission of connecting generations of Edmontonians, but specifically highlighting the important role of our First Nations in the development of this region. Elder John this morning in the pipe ceremony talked about all those things that are sacred. And Don Iveson talked this morning in the pipe ceremony about our obligation to get some things right. This is one of those things, this story, this narrative of this rich history of our Indigenous peoples. It needs to be told in the way it should. It needs to be told with accuracy, and it needs to be something that we can all take great pride in. And we can do that with that sense of honor and respect the Mayor spoke of. And we will deliver that shared vision, which truly will facilitate our future success, our mutual future success, because let's make no mistake about it, our mutual future success depends on us getting this right. So I embark on this journey with our First Nations with great optimism and great excitement that we're going to get something done which is truly special, truly something we can be proud of, and will be a legacy piece for us to build on for years to come. So thank you, and I'd like to invite Chief Tony Alexis up at this point just to bring some further greetings and extend my personal thanks for the commitment of the Confederacy to this initiative.
On behalf of Treaty 6, we'd just like to give our thanks and the recognition and the future use of as the people of this area and the visitors who will be here. We just want to give thanks for this great honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mr. Goss. I think it's exciting work that we embark on, and I know that as we do this work together, it really sets a tone of how that cooperation is done with our partners, rather than for our partners. And so that's a dialogue that I look forward to in working with the staff at the Confederacy office, with FEMCO. It's been a wonderful beginning. At this time, we're going to close with our Alexis singers for a closing song. I want to thank everybody for coming today. That kind of concludes our formal program. What's up next is there'll be some pictures with some dignitaries, a public reception, there's food, please help yourself. And wish you all the best for participating today, and safe journeys on your way home.